Okay, so today we are going to begin a new project. We're going to talk about warm and cool colors. You can see on the inside of this circle there are warm colors. On the outside you can see the cool colors, greens, blues, and then towards the top there's some purples. This sheet of paper is a little bit larger than the one that you're going to get. You're going to get a 12 by 12 inch square. So to start off with, we'll get your sheet of paper and a paper plate. I want you to take your paper plate and put it very, very close to the top. Not all the way to the top, because you need to make sure that you can trace the circle. But the first thing that you're going to do is trace your circle, paper plate. I'm going to take that off, and I'm going to go ahead and start drawing my tree now. I want you to draw your tree first, so that you don't have to go back and erase your pencil lines that go through the tree. So if you can see right here, I'm going to start drawing my tree inside my circle. I'm going to start at the bottom of my paper. And like I said, this is a smaller piece of paper, so your tree is not going to be near as tall as the one that shows up on the board. So I'm going to just draw my tree trunk. Okay, up here. And then I'm going to add some branches off to the side. And when I add those branches, I'm going to make sure I stop at the edge of the circle. I'm not taking the tree outside of the circle. And I understand if your tree is not perfect, obviously, that's what erasers are for. I'm going to go back and erase what I made right there. And then I'm going to bring this up again, and I'm going to do another branch. And then one more. And on this side, I'm going to bring it over here. And it helps if you put that V. See how I'm making a V right here? To kind of split the branches up. So there I have my tree, and then I'm going to come back down here and I'm going to erase this line that's in the middle. And then the next part that I'm going to do is I'm going to be gridding my paper. And when I say gridding my paper, I'm going to be using a ruler and a pencil. Okay? This is very important to pay attention to. You are not doing any type of measurement. All you need to do is line your ruler up at the edge of your paper and draw a line. Scoot your ruler over, line it up with that line, and draw another line. The important part here is where your tree is, you're going to stop, pick up your pencil, so that you're not drawing your line through your tree. You're making sure that line is hidden behind the tree. And I'm going to go ahead and do this whole thing so that you guys can see, and also take your time while you're working on yours and watching me at the same time. I'm going to do this across the whole entire paper. And obviously where the tree is, you don't have to draw that line all the way down. See how I'm skipping that line? But I'm still making sure that I line my ruler up with the last line that I did. So you can see. Oops, and so in my tree. I'm going to go ahead and erase that. And if you're worried about erase marks, don't be, because you're going to be coloring this whole entire thing in, so it will cover up any of those erase marks. Alright, we're coming up to the last part, and you can see that not all of your papers are going to be exactly 12 by 12 inch. So you can see how it's bigger here and smaller there. We can slice that piece off if you want. Don't worry about it. Just make sure that your line is straight. And then once I do that, I'm going to turn my paper sideways. And I'm going to go back. I'm going to do it this way, so that it grids out my paper kind of like a checkerboard. I'm being very careful to skip through those tree branches, not to draw my lines in them. So you should be working on this with me while we're doing this together. And if you don't get done with this by the time I am done with it, it's okay. You can go back and finish it when we're done with the video. Okay, so my whole entire paper is gridded except for my tree. Then the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take my Sharpie. And the only area in this that I'm going to use my Sharpie is to trace my tree, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do that. I'm going to trace my tree with my Sharpie. Make sure that your Sharpie is not exiting the area of the circle. We want it to stop at the edge of that circle line. And then the next part is the fun part. After you get your tree traced, then we get to go in and we get to add all of the fun designs that go inside your tree. So you can see that I chose to use different types of lines. I even did some shapes and added some parts in there and some little eyeball kind of looking shapes. I did some diagonal lines. I did some wavy lines. I did kind of a striped effect over here on the tree branches. Okay, so you get to be creative and create whatever type of line scheme you would like. You can do it in pencil first if you would like. You don't have to. And I like how I did my branches with the kind of the curved candy cane stripe effect. Okay, and I can add my heart line in there. And a little eyeball shape or leaf shape if I want. Okay, so you're going to fill the whole tree in. That's going to show the texture of your tree. Okay? And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to be using colored pencils. You're going to be filling in the inside boxes with warm colors, which I used pink also as a warm color. Kind of looks like starbursts to me. Little squares of starbursts. And then in the background of the circle and down below, you are going to be using cool colors. And I like to look at it here where I started out with green and I did just a few blue, and then it faded all the way up into blue, and then towards the top I added some purples for the sky to show the difference between the ground and the sky. So if you would like to do that too, that would be awesome. If not, it's okay with me. So once you get done with that Sharpie, then you can go ahead and start coloring.